Hi everyone, welcome back to Christmas in July. We're on day, I don't know, 4 or 5. It doesn't matter. I'll put it in a title because I can look at yesterday's and see. This is going to be a three-part video. Hopefully not too long. I think we're going to just set up. So I got this from Mike Walmart last year, I believe. I think it was last year. And I usually don't buy bags anymore. But here's the thing. I'm anti Dollar Tree kinda sometimes until they have something really cool that's really awesome. But these were $5 and you get 8 bags in. Not only that, hear me out. I think I got it on sale when it was half off for 250. So yeah. And I was like, you know what? This is gonna be so cool. I have so many ideas already for bags anyway. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna get this. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, Dollar Tree sells them two for $1.25. And if this was 250, then you do the math. Dollar quarter, dollar quarter, dollar quarter, dollar quarter, right? So if I got four, that was $5, and these were on sale. So anyway, yeah, I was like, and these are better quality, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I usually try to get the stuff half off or deeper discounted than that. But I have a lot of Christmas themed things that I enjoy mucking around with. So we're gonna save some of the ones that I want to try other things with for later. So yesterday we did the truck. We're gonna go ahead and continue. This is a car. This today. And so what we're gonna do is make a we're gonna make a book. Shh. It's not like I've ever done that before. So what I thought I would do is gingerly destroy the bag. Do I think it's going to be a little harder to destroy than a Dollar Tree bag? Yeah, the glue is probably a little bit more adhered down properly. You could take some type of heating tool to open up the seams. And when I say tool, maybe a hair dryer, your heat gun, not heat gun, embossing gun, your heating tool, the heat embossing one, or just a regular heat tool, because they're not the same as I was educated on that a few years back. So today will be our prep day. Hope everyone's staying hydrated. I know hydrated and cool. A lot of people I know their air conditions, including mine, went out or gone out, or they just have heat. A lot of heating issues in their area, their location, where they live. Now, is this necessary? No, it's not. But I like to try to disassemble everything in case I need that piece later on. We should not need that piece later on, but yeah, you could always just chop the bottom part off. So this is, like I said, this is just an extra step that's not really needed. But I prefer to try to do like this because I want to see the whole bag. And as you can see, they have the bottom portion of here, on here. So we want to make sure we can get this piece. All right, so now we're going to just unfold this. And then we're going to unfold this. If you've ever done this before, let me know how you do yours in the comment section, please. So now I'm going to look for the seam, and the seam is right here. You see it right there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to not tear the bag. That's always a good statement at the very beginning. And I'm going to just start from the bottom because it's already torn, because we've already opened this part up. Now, like I said, if you wanted to, you could take a heating tool. Do this ginger. Don't be very quick to do this, okay? Just do it gently and light. All right, so there we go. And we're going to go ahead and pluck these off. Now you can use any bag you like. If you have a gifted bag from someone and you want to, use it, it's beautiful. I have a few of those. We'll be seeing those. We're going to have a bag series coming up. I have a few things that I want to go ahead and just do. I have been waiting for the right time. You know what? There's no such thing as the right time. Just do it, right? So there we go. It's torn off. Now, if you wanted to, you could at this time try to clean up these edges a little bit. They're not needed because we're going to be gluing some stuff down on top of it. But if you wanted to do that, you definitely could. So now you have your front piece and your back piece. Doesn't matter which one is which at this point. Yeah, how you fold a book. You fold your book like this, right? And that's how we're gonna do it. So we're gonna go ahead and cut. We're gonna cut everything down. I'm gonna cut probably to this line on both sides. So right here and wherever this leads us to, we're gonna leave this alone, and then we're gonna cut all of this down. All right. All right. So I went ahead and took the liberty to cut down our chipboard. This is some packaging from some little brownie bites that the little roommate had. I tore the box apart. Well, the box already tore up, but I usually break it down and put it in a recycle. I recycle, and then so what I did is just cut. I cut it, hand cut it, and then I went and cut the edges smoother. So now what we're gonna do is, just so you are aware, we're gonna take these and just glue them in here like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back. Let's stop. We're gonna take this image and we're gonna glue this piece on the inside of the image first, right? And then we're going to take another strip, a smaller strip, and we're going to glue it on the inside. So this part, we're going to take some cloth, but this part right here will not have wood. It will not have this on here. And then we're going to take another sheet of paper and cover the whole entire thing. Hopefully I made sense, because I don't think I made sense to myself. So now, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and measure this out. And we're doing this by the seat of our pants. I haven't went on and watched a tutorial of how to do this particular thing, as you just saw, open the bags up and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and measure this out, and I'm going to do two measurements. So the first thing is I don't want all of this book. I don't want all of this to be on here, if that makes sense. I want till about right here, and probably from like right here, because I need some room to fold these pieces over and give it a little bit of neatness on the creasing aspect. So what I'm going to do is just measure this out, and it looks like it measures roughly, we'll do 6.5. Okay, so 6.5, let's go ahead and write this down. 6.5 by, and for this one we want it to be probably like right here. And I don't need to write on the paper, but it just makes me feel better pretending like I know what I'm doing. Let's do 4 3/4. Okay, so 4 3/4. Now I don't have any more cardboard, so it's no quote unquote do-overs. And then we're gonna measure this one. So this is 6.5 still, right? 6.5, because they're all gonna be 6.5. And then let's just measure by. Now do this one's thin. We don't want to use this one because it's ripped from the ashes of a good novel. This one is gonna measure. Let's do two. Ooh, this one's gonna be a rough one. Yeah, I think we got it. Let's see. Because I still need to clean these edges up as well, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do all that and come back, and then we'll get to gluing. Gluing. All right, so we got the pieces cut down. And I got excited, so I want to go back over something. I was like, oh, I'm going to fill the whole thing in. Don't fill the whole thing in. That's not needed. We need to give the paper some bending, right? I always have an issue with the paper bending, so that's why I want to try this method. I have seen people make albums where they don't put something in the middle of it because you want it to fold, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, but now I'm going to create a line. The line is for what? The line is for us to put the adhere our pieces down without me losing my mind. just measuring this out, and looks like it's a quarter inch. Uh-oh. It's a quarter from the top and the bottom. I mean, it doesn't matter, but we're going to do that. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to measure a quarter from the top and the bottom and just make our line. And that's what we're going to adhere our pieces down. And it should be enough for us to fold our papers over. So let me see. I couldn't have made it in the I couldn't have just drew the line in the same spot. No, I had to be extra and put one in one spot and one another. So we're just gonna eyeball it because I don't want to stress myself out over nothing. There we go. And why am I making the line? If you're wondering, I'm making the line so I can just glue the paper down without, hopefully, in the same spot versus paper being up a little, paper being down a little. You don't need to use a pencil. You can use something lighter if you want. I'm just doing this because I need the visual. I feel like this is crooked. Nope. Okay. So we got that. And now I'm going to come back over here and I am going to I'll leave it. It won't matter once we cut it, but it's starting to wig me out a little bit. Just look. And if I put this one on this side, I don't have that much room left. So I need to put this like closer to the edge so I can fold this piece over a little bit. All right. So let's go ahead and glue. Now, right here, this is shiny. So if you wanted to rough it up a little bit so the pores could open to suck in the glue and adhere to the paper, you could. Is it needed? I don't know. Really don't know yet. We'll see. And then I just need to get some, I'm going to just get some regular old fabric and just glue it across and then we'll be done. Maybe. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I have a few of these books I really want to make, so we won't have Christmas in August, but for Christmas we'll actually have a few of these little things going on. I don't want to put it on the fold for the actual crease, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Then we'll just burnish this down. I got this little bread thing. I think it's like the slice of butter. I don't know. It's a piece of toast, but it's orange. I got this from a food supply, not a food supply, a restaurant supply thing where you get dishes and pots and stuff from. I had went with a friend of mine, or did I go by myself? I think I went by myself because I was looking for something. I don't know why I was looking. I think it was something for the little roommate. I can't remember. So yeah. Anyway, I got that. Now, if I was being more, I couldn't have been any more careful. And I'll tell you why. Because this is the actual edge of the paper. So you can't be extra careful on that one because that's all I had to work with. So I'm going to try to put this one a little bit closer to the edge. Just a little bit. Like right there. And I'm going to make sure well, we're going to cover this up the front as well. We'll be just covering this up. What's your favorite? The little roommate loves the brownie and chocolate chip one. The fudge brownies. I actually like banana nut muffins. I think, but this was before a lot of things happened. It used to be like 50 cents for a pack. I used to like getting those with some milk because I don't know. Some of the banana nut muffins seem a little bit on the dry side. So we got this right here. Go ahead and burnish this down. I have never done this before. I just told you that the way I'm doing it now. So I would say make sure you have good adhesion on both sides, on the sticky side and the side that's being stuck to it. And see, now we take it and it's a little bit more hard. There we go. It's funny how it's still crooked even though I didn't do that. I did not do that. Just gonna burnish this, smooth all of this out. And in this instance, I would say it's better to have more glue than not a lot of glue. And right here, remember we had these the little prongs for our book. If you want to keep that on, that could be cute, I suppose, but I'm not there yet. Just burnishing on both sides. All right. Then I'm just going to check the edges. And why am I checking the edges? Because I want it to be glued down very well. And sometimes I omit the edges because I'm like, I don't want it to seep out. This is an instance that I don't want it to seep out as well, but I'm okay with seepage. Okay with the seepage. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and put this in the middle. I couldn't use this one. I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want to use because of these pieces, but the box had two sides. Who knew? I don't know. Don't pay me any mind. I was worried that we weren't going to make our like minimum amount of time for this. Now I may get a wild hair up when I make the next video, which is probably going to be later on today, and make something totally different and come back to this a different day. But I want to get this completed. I need to stain some papers, and I guess we'll have three signatures. So I do need this to dry completely so I can put my needle through it. I don't want the needle running through wet glue and then sticking on the paper. So we will not finish this project today, or at least not in this setting. We could come back because I told you I don't want to do a video every day. I want to have these already pre-recorded. But today is the 24th, and you'll be seeing this today on the 24th. Okay. Just I'm rubbing it in pretty hard. I want it to adhere, and I want to do it on the side that I could not worry about it breaking, tearing. Then we're gonna go on the back and just do it a little gingerly. A little gingerly. Now, if we fold this over, you see? Uh-oh. You can't see it because it fell. If I were to fold this page over, I have a little bit of room. I have a little bit of wiggle room, right? We got to glue that down because they didn't want to do it right. And the same thing with this side. It's not, we won't do that, but if the book decides to do a little bit of shifting, then the book can do some shifting without me freaking my freak. I would also probably say you could reinforce your spine again with another sheet, another piece of paper. That was a little sloppy. Um, if that's what if you wanted a more solid spine, just gonna burnish this down with some glue. I mean, rubbing it in. Did I not do this? All right. All right. right, so you can see we got that. It's adhered down very well now. It's going to take a minute to dry, a few seconds to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone and stop messing with it. Now, I'm going to let it dry like this. And then on the front it says home for the holidays, which is really cool, right? And so this is how wide our spine will be. Our spine is going to be pretty big, 2.5 inches. And so I think we'll have three signatures in here. And what I'm going to do tomorrow or the next day, whenever we do this again, we're going to go ahead and put, once this dries, I don't want to keep manipulating the paper now. I want it to dry. But once it dries, we're going to go ahead and fold these edges up like this. And then we can do this now. That way I don't have to worry about it later on, today or tomorrow, whenever we do it. I'm going to go ahead and clip. I'm just going to clip right here to the black line. And here, now this is where I would tell you be careful. Be careful. Normally I would say just cut across to the very edge, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to cut a little bit above there. So when we fold it up, this corner is not poking out. And same thing with this. It's called mitering the corners. And since we are using a book, I mean, not a book, a bag, we have to be mindful that one side is shorter than the other. All right. Now, if you ever did a book, if you were in school and you had to use paper bags and make your own um, book covers, then you know what we're doing right now. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to push it all the way up. And what am I pushing up? I'm pushing this edge up to the middle like that. I'm bringing it up. And the same thing with these. I had already pre-folded it, so it should be pretty good. Now, this is one thing that you have to decide on if you want to fold this up first and then glue your other sheet, because we're going to glue another sheet of paper on top of here. I think it may be craft. I'm not sure yet. That'll be for the next video. The reason why you do that, the reason why I say you got to decide now is because if you leave it like this, right? So say you leave it like this and you put your other paper on top. Let's say this is our other paper. You have to make sure that you leave a little bit of it showing. If you cover this up, then this is what you're going to see. You're going to see crookedness if you didn't cut it straight. So I always like to cover the paper up with the top layer, because the top layer is usually the pretty or more attractive paper that you're going to be using. Like maybe it's a pattern, maybe just something like that. That's how I always look at it. See how it's crooked right here? Even if I had used pattern paper, I feel like it was still probably would have been crooked. So I'm folding up. I'm folding this over like that. And so you see how it has a nice little crease, not too much overlap. That's the goal that we want. We don't want to have our edges showing. We want it to have a nice overlap. So that's the goal. All right. So now what we're going to do here is push this up as well. Just like that. You want to make sure you get a good grip on that paper, the edges, and push it all the way up. You don't want it to be half up and half down. You want it to be good. And you see how it's looking now? It's looking pretty decent in my opinion. I might be biased because I'm working on it, but you know, nice, very pretty. Versus our other edge that looks kind of scruffy. But that's what you need to do on all of the edges. So you just take your, whatever you're folding it up with, your finger, your hand, card, whatever, and you just push this up like that. Push it up and over. Same with this. Up and over, up and over. And you just pry, press down. As hard as you like, it doesn't matter as long as you get that paper good and pressed over. Now you see the one thing that looks a little bit on the crazy side is the spine. It looks a little bit too long. That's my fault if it is too long, which it looks like it's a sliver too long, or maybe it's the paper. Hold on, let's see. No, that's me. Am I gonna fix it? No, I'm okay with it being a little bit too long. I don't want to go back and redo this. So, but that's gonna be our little book. And I didn't want to cut this down because I didn't feel like gluing the papers together and stuff like that. So, uh, this is our cover, the cover. So I think we have three. This will be a three-parter. I'm not sure, but I think I might break it up. So tomorrow we might do something totally different than what we're doing right now. Just because I don't want to. Yeah, we'll do something different. And then the next day, whatever the next day is, we'll come back to this maybe. Who knows? Maybe we'll get two. We probably won't get two videos, but that's just me talking outside of my neck. So I'm gonna cut this down a little bit more, just like that, and fold this over. There we go. And you just glue it. Now I'm gonna use this art glitter glue. Me and Artie and I, we on the, we not seeing eye to eye right now. I don't know. I had left it on the kitchen table. When I came back, it was stacked up with toys and all kinds of nonsense. So no telling what the little roommate did to it. No telling. So for this, I'm going to put the glue right on the edge. Right on the edge, just like that, on the fold. And then a little bit above. The same thing, I'm going to go ahead and do all of them. Our glitter glue dries pretty fast, so you got to keep that in mind. Don't be foolish and think that you can super person it like I just thought I could. So now we're just going to fold this over, and it's a good thing when you burnish it down. You want to, do a good burnish, a good burnish. I'm gonna go ahead and write F right here for front, because my silly butter turn this upside down, and we'll have these. We'll be doing this over, talking about why you need to pay attention to your signs. Okay, so I'm just gluing this all around. You make books. I had when I first started trying to do junk journals, I had watched a lot of lovely content creators doing a lot of stuff. And now that I have joined a few collaborations, a lot of the ladies do amazing books, and I'm just like, ooh, I like that. The one thing that I haven't been able to figure out properly, it's gonna sound so silly, is the chunky charm to go on the side of it. Samara had made me one. I was like, I'm gonna make you one. I'm just like, I don't know how to do this yet. That's always the crazy part, right? There's so many projects that I think that I want to do, and then when I go to look at, it, I'm like, I'm gonna just sit this one out, coach. I know you're probably saying you make this and this. I know I should be able to do it. But I don't know how long you've been here, but I'll tell you this. I'm not that kind of person anymore that thinks that I can just make everything. With practice, yeah. Practice you can try and make whatever you think you can. But I used to cold turkey it. I just used to run into run into the craft store and be like, I saw this. I need this, this, and this, and then I come home with a bunch of junk, and I would get discouraged first of all because I couldn't, I couldn't figure out how Sally had made that thing. That's why tutorials are very important. And thankfully, a lot of people offer their tutorials for free, and they haven't said, "Well, you got to pay me for this," because a lot of stuff that people make, I can't say a lot of the new, well, a lot of the stuff, yeah, a lot of stuff is has already been done. It's old. It's old news with a new color, right? Like I think it was a couple of years ago. I don't know if I was in it. It was a collaboration. It was like pastels, pastel Christmas. I was like pastel Christmas. Okay, so we then took the Easter colors and turned it into Christmas colors. Okay, because not everybody likes the traditional red, silver, green, gold. Some people like purple, light purple, lilac, pink, and all that stuff. So I support whatever you're doing because you're being creative. This right here is going to bug me. So we're going to go ahead and push this over. It does not want to fold. Yeah, there we go. So this is it for today. You see how weird it looks right here? That bugs me. And I'll have to get over it. But that is that for today. I did a pretty decent job, except for this one spot that's definitely going to rub me the wrong way. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed so far. I want to say thank you for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.